Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of A Sportsman's Life. We are out on a hot, humid, summertime hog hunt. So we've got the bow all geared up here, and it's quite humid. We've got our little cooling towel here and assorted beverages back here. Got to have those going into the woods this time of year. It's just hot, so you got to be very careful. So we're going to go up and we're going to sit in a ladder stand tonight, just kind of get up off the ground, and maybe some breeze will kind of keep us a little bit cool, but let's see what's moving. So why don't you stick with me? Let's take a walk. We'll go get in the blind, and let's have some fun. Let's go. Well, friends, I'm going to speed this video up a little bit and show you just the confusion in the blind. I had literally just got into the blind and hadn't even pulled my bow up yet, and was trying to get just situated, get my safety harness on and whatnot, and the hogs had immediately come in. I got to the blind just a little bit late and was dealing with some camera issues, and once I got that all figured out, I got to the blind, climbed the ladder stand, and about the time I got to the top rung, the feeder went off, and lo and behold, here they come, all sorts of hogs. And so I was caught off guard totally. I was able to make a shot, and I did put an arrow in one, which looked to be a pretty good shot. Unfortunately, you can't see it in this video, but you know, the thing is, you know, when you get into a blind like that, expect the unexpected. Things can happen. You know, those hogs, when they hear that feeder go off, it's like a dinner bell. That doesn't mean they'll always come, you know, running right in, but it doesn't mean that they won't. In this particular case, as you can see again, they came immediately in. So I really just tried to get set up as quickly as I could and get things organized to try to make a shot. And the video part of it was a bit difficult. We were sitting up in that tree just about right there just a few minutes ago, and again, we were just climbing in the stand. I was just getting set up, and unbelievable, they came right in. That feeder had literally just gone off. So as you can see, they were in here. Look at all I mean, they pretty much got all the corn that quickly. Quite amazing. Well, my bow is laying over here along with something else, so definitely a good hit. And again, I apologize I couldn't get the shot on that for you, but you know, these things happen. Sometimes going in, you just got to be prepared, because you just never know. It happened that quick. I got a late start into the blind because I was having some camera issues, but we got that figured out. And anyway, we were all in the blind of about maybe 2 minutes, maybe, before they came in. And they came in with a vengeance. There were a lot of nice hogs in there, but there's one that's got a hole in him. So we're gonna go back and take a look here and give it a few minutes here, but looks like a pretty darn good hit. So we can talk a little bit about blood trailing, perhaps. That's another thing I'd like to cover a little bit today. After shooting a hog like this, deer, anything, you know, you owe it to that game to find that. So you start from point A, and point B is the critter you pursue.
And between this point A and the critter B, there's a line, and there should be some blood, hopefully. If it's a good shot, you got a blood trail, you get on the blood trail, you stay on the blood trail, you always stay on the blood trail. All right, that's what we're gonna try to do and see what we come up with. Whew, the humidity is a killer out here. All right, let's poke our head in the woods here. Well, as you can see, my bow is right out there, the arrow's laying there. We're probably maybe 8 to 10 yards from that arrow. And I have not found any blood yet, but that's what you want to look for. So we're going to just scour this area and see if we can't find some. We know that arrow went right through him, so let's see what we can find. Well, friends, checking in. We walked a big circle. I did not find any blood, so I've been walking the trails that the hogs actually use. Very fresh, but I can't seem to find any blood. Blood trail is what you gotta have. So we're just sweeping the area here. I don't know. Well, hopefully it's not one of those nights where we don't find the animal, but those things do happen. As fast as they came in, as fast as I made that shot, oh, it's crazy. Boy, it's humid. Whew. All right, let's get on the trail. Kind of an interesting vine. Gotta stop and take in the beauty. Well, Point of Impact is right there. Sometimes it's best to come back to the scene of the crime and look some more. So we're still looking. We've been out here probably 35 to 40 minutes looking already. So I'm gonna cut more to, I guess that's the east. So I'm gonna cut out more to the east and see what I can see that way. I thought he went a little bit west and south, but without a blood trail, it's hard to tell where they went. All right, hang with me. Well, folks, we are back. I have walked a long way. Mosquitoes are starting to come out now, and I've circled and circled and looked for blood, followed every hog trail in to that area. I've done just about everything I can. I looked closer at that arrow. I don't know, it looked like it might have been maybe just a tad high and maybe just a little bit back, but it still should have been there. I would have thought for sure we would have seen something, but sometimes that's how it is. You know, we have fun with these shows, but it's not always about getting an animal. Getting out here, I tell you what, it's hot. I am ready for a shower and like some barbecue or something. So I think I'm gonna give it one more sweep here, and certainly if we find it, we'll come back.
Well, friends, I want to show you what I use for night hunting. This is the Wraith by Sightmark. It's a digital, it's not thermal, but you can use it for daytime hunting. It has a color mode. It's color during the day, and at nighttime for shooting hogs and predators out to, I've killed them out to 125 yards, but I sight in for that distance. You could shoot them a lot farther. Go online to learn more about the Wraith. You can go to sightmark.com and check them out. Absolutely awesome hunting tool for day or night. Well, folks, it is Luke Clayton, and I want to show you something right here that I am very, very proud of. My gearhead bow. I've taken a couple of hogs with it, and I'm deer hunting. I'm down at the Buck and Bass Ranch at a buddy of mine's, and I'm going to be deer hunting. Let me show you something here. Now, this is the coolest thing in the world, and the first time I have ever shot a bow with a shoot-through riser. I'm going to look right at you here. There's a riser here. There's a riser here. Look at the arrow on this gearhead bow, right in the middle. And if you think that doesn't make a difference, you know, for many, many years, me and I guess every other bow hunter been shooting one side of the riser or the other. This thing shoots straight through. Folks, check them out online. This is the bow that I hunt with, and I've got a lot, I love it, lots of confidence in it. GearheadArchery.com.
Well, friends, we'll join Luke in a minute. He's cooking up some, actually he's got striper on the half shell, so pretty good looking recipe here. You don't want to stick around for that one. So we're going to do that, and also got a little special treat from Larry Weishuhn, who's going to join us as well.
Well, hello, my friends. It's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and it's time for a little outdoor cooking segment. we're going to do some stripers on the half shell. I caught these, my buddy Jeff and I caught these up at Lake Texoma with Striper Express a couple of weeks ago. And look at these. These are these are going to be some great fillets. Now, Chris Carey, who's an awesome guide up there with Striper Express. Actually, that's Bill's son, Chris. Chris been guiding for a long, long time. He says, Luke, when you do the stripers, instead of putting them scale on, we're going to put this side down. Go ahead and scale the stripers first. So that's what he did. So we have some really good striper fillets ready, and I'm going to show you how I prepare them. We're going to season them, and I'll bring the camera in close so you can actually see them cooking. So here we go. Well, folks, you know I do like to keep things simple when I'm cooking, so I don't think cooking fish can get a whole heck of a lot more simple than this. Basically, we're just going to salt, some garlic powder for sure, got to have that. Pretty heavy on the garlic powder, and some black pepper. So that's the way we're going to season these, pretty simple. Now, what you need to do before you start putting the fillets on the grill, I like to use a little cooking oil of some sort, and just go ahead and wipe that grill down. That way it won't stick. This is butter, melted butter with lemon here in the little cast iron pot. So, our whole goal is to get these striper fillets all seasoned up. Now, tell you what, let's do. There's the first one. Here's the skin side. Here's a trick that I learned. It's a little unconventional. I go ahead, our grill is oil so it won't stick. Instead of just putting it skin side down, first I put it on there like that and grill the fillet side. So let's go ahead and put a few more of those. Let's season them up and get those cooking. Little black pepper, plenty of garlic, and some salt on that fillet. And let's coat it with let's put some good lemon butter on it, and let's slap it down on there. We just want to give it some grill marks on this side, folks. Oh boy, here's a beautiful fillet right here. Salt, pepper, garlic. How easy is that? Well, I'll tell you what I forgot. We've got that grill grease. Let's give it a little butter and slap that on there and let that get going. We got one more. Actually, Chris Carey did fillet 2 of these for us. 2 stripers, which equates to 4 fillets. Like I say, we could put these down scale side down and it works, but it's so much better if you give them these grill marks. It won't take long on this little grill. Pardon the hands, but after all, I am an old outdoor cook, you know? Let's get this down a little bit lower to the coals. What do you say? There we go. Now then, let's let these cook for fillet side down. Let's let them cook for about 3 more minutes, and then we'll flip them, and then we'll be able to baste the top part. Okay, my friends, we've turned them, and now we do have them actually skin side down. Let's put a little butter, lemon butter, or actually let's put a lot of lemon butter on them. A little flame on that side will be most welcome. So that's as simple as it gets out here on the campfire, folks. This meat, these are really flaky. I can tell they're almost about half done. But we'll give them about another 10 more minutes and then take a look at them. What do you say? Folks, much thanks to our friends up on Lake Texoma. Bill Carey, Striper Express, his son Chris, an absolute awesome guide. I'll tell you what, let's do. I just want to, this one right here, I think we're going to give it a little field test here. they're all just pretty much done. I think it's time to squeeze a little bit of lemon. We're just going to field test this one right here. A little lemon on that. Let's flake you off a piece. I wish you could be here with me because I've already sampled some of this. Check it out, folks. What the heck, I'm going to dip it in a little butter and consume it. That's the reason, that is the most awesome fish you can imagine. Up on the East Coast, you know, stripers, you can actually purchase it in restaurants. Awesome. Thanks again, Striper Express. Hope you enjoyed our little cooking segment, and we'll get back to our show. What do you say? Folks, as an old outdoors writer, I have used lots of products. Smoking Tex electric smokers, the best smokers that you can find. This is Diz and this is Scott, my buddies. Diz, tell them how they can learn more about Smoking Tex.
Yeah, obviously the number one source of information is going to be our website. It's got hundreds of recipes, it's got helpful guides, it's got all of our models and our accessories listed there. Of course, we have a phone number, 888-922-1511, and we'll actually answer our own phones.
That's true. And Diz, the main thing, the easy way, smokingtex.com. You can learn all about it.
Correct. And of course, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So take a look at us whenever you can, and whatever social media you'd like, and we look forward to working with you.
Hi folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and this ain't your grandpa's pump-up air gun. This is the Texan, made by Air Force Air Guns, and it's the most powerful production air gun in the world. A few years ago I started shooting these, when they first came out. I actually had a chance to test. They didn't really need any testing, but to shoot one of the 10 prototypes when it first came out. Now this is the improved model. This tank pressures up to 3,625 psi. This gun will develop, I believe it's 750 foot-pounds of energy shooting a 520 grain bullet. So this is your big daddy of air guns. If you want to get into hunting or shooting air guns, you know, you don't have to shoot a 520 grain bullet. I shoot a Nielsen specialty ammo bullet that's, I think it's 340 grains. But here you go. Check these out online. You can go to airforceairguns.com and check them out. But this is the one I've hunted with a lot. I've probably killed 30 hogs and a bunch of exotics, and I'm going to get after the deer here in Texas this year with it. airforceairguns.com.
About 11 years ago, I started doing a regular segment with Luke Clayton Outdoors called Campfire Talk. Recently had the opportunity to get together with Jeff Rice and Luke at Jeff's Buck and Bass Ranch there in Northeast Texas. We talked about a lot of different things, and basically one of the reasons I was there was to try the new Seneca Dragon Claw, a rifle, an air rifle, if you will, that shoots an arrow. I've always been asked, Larry, do you bow hunt? And I've always had the same answer. Well, you know, I used to bow hunt and then I grew up. So, great respect for bow hunters, don't get me wrong. I love bow hunters, and I love bow hunting too as well. With this new air gun, if you will, I'm going to have the opportunity to shoot a rifle that actually shoots a broadhead tipped arrow or bolt, if you will. So I'm really kind of looking forward to doing that. That was one of the main reasons I was there. But we were sitting around the campfire that evening, and we were talking about all kinds of different things, including a sportsman's life that Jeff and Luke have been doing on a weekly basis. And got talking a little bit, and finally somebody said, Larry, don't you get a lot of questions about hunting and shooting and those sorts of things? And I go, yes sir, you know what, I really do, and I love those questions. Got talking a little bit more and kind of came down to the situation of, well, you know, we could maybe, let's talk a little bit about you having a segment in a sportsman's life. And so we did, and guess what? Here I am in the first of what will be a pretty much a weekly thing. If I'm around, unless I'm off somewhere where I can't get a camera or a computer to send things, I'm gonna be a regular on this show, if you will. And it's gonna be a Q&A thing. So if you got a question, you got or even an answer, and I'll come up with a question. But if you got a question with anything having to do with hunting, with guns, ammo, optics, wildlife management, hunting techniques, you name it along those lines, I'll do my best to get you an answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you, and I'll find somebody that does. I'm very fortunate. I love hunting guns. This happens to be a Ruger, and I shoot Hornady ammo, quite frankly, exclusively because it's the best there is as far as I'm concerned. Kind of feel the same way about the Trijicon scope that's on here. Those guys really know what they're doing, and of course they support our troops as well too, which is very dear to me, having family that's in the military. And with what's going on in the world, we're getting a lot new hunters into the field, and we'll see a lot more hunters this year, a lot more folks buying firearms. Now, you noticed I've got this one open with the bolt open. I'm going to close it because I know there's not anything in it. But if somebody hands you a rifle to look at, first thing you want to do, regardless of what the action is open that action, inspect to be sure that there's nothing right there, that there is no ammo in there. Take your little finger, run it all the way up to the front to where it touches where the rifling actually, well, not the rifling, but where the shell goes. Make sure it's empty. That way, you know, the gun is always safe. You know, even so, you want to be careful not to point it at anybody, period. Good gun safety regardless. With the new hunters coming out, we've got a lot of people that are small stature, large stature. Now, if you're interested in getting a firearm, one of the things you want to learn about is length of pull. And essentially that is from right here where the trigger is, really kind of where you can see my finger right there, and want to put that about halfway on that front part of the digit. That's where your finger ought to go on the trigger rather than curling it around like that. So you want to do that, grab the gun and put it up to your extended elbow like this with a bent elbow. Now, proper length of pull is basically from this point right here to the crux of this elbow. That gun ought to fit almost perfectly all the way again. And if you look, my finger, if I do it perfectly like I'm supposed to, this gun is a little bit too sharp for me because my finger wraps all the way into the trigger. But this is on purpose because when you buy a rifle with a length of pull, you want to buy it for what you're going to be hunting. Where are you going to be hunting? If you're going to be wearing a lot of heavy clothes, like I'm hunting up north, and that's what this rifle is. This is one of my northern hunting rifles, if you will, where I'm going to be wearing a heavy coat. That means I'm going to have a bunch of extra padding up here to try to stay warm. So you want to have length of pull. If you're going to be hunting where it's cold, take a coat with you. You don't need to put the whole thing on. Just run it all the way up your arm and then try to get a right, proper length of pull. Now, if you visit some of the better gun stores scattered around, they're going to tell you about all this. But as a new hunter, or even as a hunter who's been around for a long time, like I said, properly, this length of pull is a little bit short, as far as I'm concerned, but there's a purpose in it because of the heavy clothing that I'm going to be wearing when I shoot this gun. So learn about length of pull, learn about calibers, learn about the rounds. The caliber is actually the diameter of the bullet. It's not the cartridge that you're using of the round. Learn about optics. We're going to talk in the future about proper shooting techniques, proper placement as far as the finger is concerned relative to the stock, optics, ammo, all those things we're going to be talking about in the future. But if you've got a question that you want to ask, please get in touch with Luke or Jeff and ask them to get it to me, and I'll do my best. Now, I apologize, normally I'm outside doing these kind of things, but it's really hot out there today, and the world's greatest convention is air conditioning as far as I'm concerned. So I'm in the house, in my office. You just heard the air conditioner come on, thank goodness. And if you got a question, get in touch with us, and I truly look forward to hearing from you and visiting with you in the future. Luke, Jeff, thank you so much for allowing me to be with you. I'm Larry Weishuhn, and I appreciate y'all very, very much.
Well, friends, thanks once again for joining us here on A Sportsman's Life. We really enjoy bringing this stuff to you, and glad you could join us this week, and look forward to another fun and exciting adventure right here next week on A Sportsman's Life. Until then, be safe in the outdoors.